Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. I'm a concept artist. Been in the industry for about 10 years now. Work with companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering as well as Universal Studios Creative. And I'm here today with my buddy Michael Walker. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael Welker. I'm a creative technologist and writer, and also a semi-retired theme park producer, which is where I got to meet and work with Chris on several big theme park projects. But recently, we found ourselves in between big projects and said, hey, why don't we put our heads together and do a creative project, just the two of us? Took us a while to figure out what that was, but we eventually settled on learning how to make a video game, which we did, and it's completed, the prototype version at least, and is available to play on PC if you're interested. We also have videos on the YouTube channel where you can watch that game played by yours truly, actually. Um, but in addition to making the game, we also wanted to do something a little bit different, and that was we wanted to broadcast our creative development process to the world. And so we created the Creative Tavern, and we did just that. But that wasn't the only reason we created the Creative Tavern. And to tell you more about that, I'm going to hand it back to Chris.
Thank you, Michael. The reason why we created the Creative Tavern was for people to come together, to gather together, to share each other's work, whether we are doing something by ourselves or working in a group. Having feedback is always necessary. So that's why we created this platform. Because when I started, streaming, it was really hard for me to reach out and share my stuff with people until someone actually came to my channel and I got to know them. But having this channel allows us to everyone to congregate together and share with each other's work and just talk about design and anything that comes to mind. And one of the reasons why we're here today is because I always ask Michael, it's like, hey, can you please take a look at my work, because I look at my work from forever, and it's always great to have someone to double check what you're doing, especially spelling, because I'm like horrible with spelling. Michael would always like catch my grammar and everything. So yeah, having someone else, to be part of your design is very, very crucial for me at least. And so we welcome you guys, because every single Sunday we would take a look at some of your guys' amazing work. And this week we have Slothy to take a look at your work. And every Sunday we take a look at your guys' amazing work. But we actually have some important announcements today to talk about, because today is actually our last stream until further notice. Because Michael, do you want to go ahead and explain as to why this is the end of season one, if you will?
Sure. So yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it. This is the end of
Mm-mm-mm.
season one, and there are currently no plans for season two.
Mm.
That doesn't mean there won't be a season two. It just means that right now, uh, we don't have a a season two agenda.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, so like when Chris and I started the Creative Tavern, it was pretty clear what we were doing because up to that point we had already been meeting regularly a couple times a week on the creative project, which took about 6 months for us to even figure out that it was going to be the rail shooter video game, and then for a further 6 months after that was when we turned the cameras on for you guys and actually
Mhm.
broadcast making the game. So it was a very seamless transition from what we were doing at that point to making the game. Then when the game was completed, we kind of entered this realm of like, well, okay, let's take a break and just do some fun stuff and kind of figure out where we're going to go next. Um, but really, and especially for me, I think it's not having that that creative project core to be able to give like updates on and show folks um, has been difficult. I think it's been great to be able to hang out and talk about creative stuff and talk about non-creative stuff, just fun stuff. Um, but kind of being in this place of like having finished the rail shooter really probably would have been a great place to end season one, but we kind of kept going, not really
Mhm.
knowing that the season was over yet. Um, and so we've tried a couple of different things. We also got that survey out there to kind of assess what people were interested in, um, which had some interesting results, by the way. Um, Not a ton worth going into, I think, at this time, but but yeah. So anyway, we were trying to figure out kind of like, what are we gonna do here? Like, what's next for us? Um, and both Chris and I are creative professionals and working on creative projects individually as well as in partnership with each other. And I've gotten very busy with a really important creative project that I
Mm,
want to give my full attention to um, now and into probably most of 2023 at the
yeah.
very least. Um, and that's a project that I can't do like, and Chris and I are we're teaming up on that one as well in certain capacities. I think that I'm a lot of the ball is in my court at the moment, but it's not something that I think we can really broadcast on a Creative Tavern in the same way that we could with the game.
Mm,
Um, and the other thing too is, for me, I think a big so there were like two big reasons going into the Creative Tavern that I was like, yeah, let's do this. This will be a really great idea. One was to meet like-minded creative people and to talk about creative things, to basically talk shop creatively about, color theory and drawing and perspective and storytelling and all of this stuff. And I think that was pretty successful. Like, we built this wonderful community of folks who have been able to come and hang out with us in the virtual tavern and talk about those things and share their work. And, that inspires me and gets me excited. But the second reason was to try to build awareness for what at that time was the rail shooter game, to try to get the word out there about, hey, we're making this thing to generate awareness for it. But I think having completed that project, I can now see that the audience for that game is not the same audience for the Creative Tavern. The people who would be interested in, like 90s arcade style, Star Fox style rail shooter games, might be really passionate about those types of games. They might not care at all about the actual development of the game and watching people learn how to, create models in Blender and transport them into Unity and get Unity to behave and to turn this
mm,
thing into a game. I think the content for the Creative Tavern is very much targeted towards creative individuals who are trying to do that themselves and want to learn and watch from other people. So it actually ended up being a pretty serious like misjudgment in marketing potential. Like the marketing audience there, I think I completely didn't understand. So it didn't quite do that. And I think there's probably something similar with the new project where it might be interesting to hear me talk about the writing piece of it, and I may still present myself in some kind of capacity about that kind of creative piece, but that's a totally different audience. That they're like, I think there's in summary there are like two different groups of people. There's the people who want the content, who are there to consume the content, usually in some form of entertainment. You're creating a form of entertainment that can then be consumed. And on the other hand, you can also do sort of like a making of, where you're like documenting yourself making the content. And I think in the case of the Creative Tavern, it was the latter. We were showing you, here's us making this content. So if you're interested in that process, because you also make content, this is going to be perfect for you. However, if you're the person who's just interested in the content, you maybe, I would say the vast majority of those people don't at all care about that second piece. They don't really need to know how it's made. Maybe at the most, a couple minutes of like, oh wow, that's neat, a little behind the scenes sneak peek. Like, okay, cool, got it. Let's get back to the content. I want to be
mm,
entertained again. And I think a lot of like really successful Twitch channels kind of fall into that first category, where you're not there to watch them make something else. You're there and consuming the entertainment directly. Like they're giving you, they're putting on a show for you.
mhm,
And we've
mhm,
certainly tried to do that as well, like in some capacities, as much as we could within the confines of, hey, we're primarily doing this project and kind of turning on some cameras so you can watch us make the thing. And then when the thing wasn't there, then it was like, okay, well, we gotta do something. Like we gotta put on a song and dance for y'all. Um, and so I don't know. At some point, it became it. The way to describe it to Chris is it felt a little bit like we, if you're watching a movie, you get to the end of the movie and like, hey, great, they defeated the bad guys, they saved the day, man, happily ever after. But why don't you stick around? We're gonna go hang out and do some stuff for another 30 minutes. The movie's over, but we're just here. We're just hanging out. Um, and yeah, so all of that said, since Chris and I don't have another project for the Creative Tavern that is like readily uh, fit for that same process, and also because for me, I think I'm also in a place of wanting to focus more on that first thing, on like
Mhm.
creating the content for people to consume directly. That's where my focus is going to be,
Mhm.
and I'm certainly happy to in some capacity bring allow others into my process to see and learn, because that was certainly helpful for me to see other professionals do that. But the thing is, you have all of us have a limited number of days or a limited number of hours in the day, a limited number of
Mhm.
years in our lives.
Yep.
You
Oh
can't
God, yeah.
focus on everything.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, for me, what made the most sense was if I focus on the creative piece of it, on like getting really good at making really amazing content, that benefits both parties. Because the people who are just there for the content, they get really amazing content. The people who are there to learn from me and see how to make that amazing content, I can provide an even better insight and be an even better role model for others creatively if I focus on that piece of it. If I'm just showing, if I spend more time inviting people into my process and making sure that I'm devoting time and hours and energy and resources to creating, like, here's how you do it, folks, content, that means I'm not,
Mm.
you know, building more actual entertainment content. I'm
Mhm.
not improving my craft in that capacity. Um, and so, in that case, really both sides kind of lose out. So, long, rambly way of saying that's how or at least that's how I've like arrived at the decision that, hey, I don't have anything right now that I think is going to be in the best interest of continuing to do Creative Tavern streams. Um, and again, like Chris said, this is the end of season one. That's not necessarily to say that, hey, we're totally done here, shut down shop. We're not. The YouTube channel is going to remain up. The Twitch channel will continue to exist, even though we won't be live. The Discord will still remain as is.
Mhm.
Um, I'll certainly maybe popping in there once in a while to see what you guys are up to and saying hello. Um, and Chris and I, will still be accessible. And we're not going away. We're just ceasing Twitch stream broadcasts for the Creative Tavern indefinitely.
Mhm. Mhm.
And there may come a time in the future where we do more stuff, but for now, that's kind of the plan. That's kind of the thinking.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well said, Michael. And one of the things that you mentioned was like, you want to. I'm gonna butcher what you said, but essentially taking all your concentration and focusing on your work. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, is because for the past, God, ever since November, I would say, I obviously on my own channel, twitch.tv Lee Design Studio, I haven't been streaming all that much, is because I was totally 100% focused on trying to finish out my stupid tarot cards and getting them sent to production, as well as creating the Kickstarter campaign on the website itself. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energies, and in order to do that, I had to be laser focused. And because I was laser focused, I'm at where I am right now, which I will share with you, Michael, as well as you guys watching. It is yeah, like Michael said, we're not going anywhere. Michael and I are still meeting behind the scenes, and I still am here on my own Twitch channel. I'll be streaming, hopefully. in December, start of December, getting back to it. I've been a little bit preoccupied, but I will be back, guys. But yeah, like, Michael, if anytime you want to, hang out on my stream, I mean, we could do exactly the same damn thing, but, just on my channel,
Sure.
yeah, so we're not going anywhere. And whenever Michael is ready, or Michael and I are ready to share what Michael has been working on, and we will, start season 2, and, explain as to how, Michael did it. And, I don't know. We haven't discussed this, so I don't want to like put words in your mouth. But if season 2 opens up, we might be able to see as to how Michael created his new project, and what formula or what tropes or what XYZ, how did he do it, and then we'll just go through and break it down. And if that's what Michael wants to do, again, we haven't really talked about it, but just things that we can do. And I'll also, I'm kind of, I'm thinking about working on like a new project. What happens after this, new tarot card Kickstarter? What project am I going to? Obviously, I'm going to help assist Michael with his project, but I also need time to figure out what my next thing is, right? Because as a creator, I need inspiration and some guidance, and to talk to Michael, and talk to you guys, get feedback from all you guys. It's really really helpful. So, but yeah, season 1 has been awesome. It's kind of funny how we say season 1 because we were just talking about Overwatch, and that's the only reason why I like thought of, oh, season 1 is over, but because season 1 in Overwatch is going to be over very very soon. So, yeah, but season 2 will be starting. I'm going to say next year if we do that, but I mean, no guarantees, but just Michael and I will show up anytime we are ready to share some new content. And like you said, Michael, you and I are not really entertainers. We're both designers. I mean, just to show, put on put on a quote unquote show for you guys, using Photoshop and Blender, making it entertaining is not as it's not really entertaining. It's really really educational. So that has been really really um, beneficial to, I mean, selfishly beneficial to myself, to be able to kind of walk you guys through the process of the grueling efforts of creating something from nothing, creating thumbnails into designs, and then modeling that, and then getting that into Unity and programming it. And man, was that a journey to go on for the past 6 months. And yeah, it has been definitely educational for myself. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. But with that said, Michael, I want to share with you my progress of the Kickstarter campaign that I worked on. And so
Yes,
let's
please.
go ahead and dive in really quick. So share my screen and take a look at screens. Screen number 4. Okay. So obviously, well, let me just show Michael this really quick. Oh, sorry. But cool. I've created a companion book. However, the book has not shipped here yet. It's still in production. It won't get here until, God, like December 9th. And then so I needed something to show to the backers, like, yes, I do have a book. It is coming. It is a physical thing. And so therefore, here is what this book will look like, right? What I found on this website is that they provided this file where you can substitute your designs here. So if I took that out, it basically do that. I'll go ahead and save it, and then put that there. Sorry, give me 1 second. Do that, and then unload that. Save that there. And then basically it's like
Wow,
this. Yeah. So
that's neat.
it was really awesome. So all I had to do was just double click on this, and then put my image here, and then save it. Boom.
That's so
And then,
cool.
yeah. So it's just basically was able to, do exactly what I needed without actually having to take photos of the book. And to be honest, this probably looks much better than if I were to take photos of
And
the stupid
actual
book.
photos.
exactly, because I freaking hate taking photos of stuff. Like product photos is always so hard for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, this was absolutely amazing, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and close this. Do not save. All right. Okay, go to preview. All right. Most of you guys, if you guys were watching this last week, this is what I'm working on. But Michael, I just want to share with you the progress. What is new? What is new? You've seen all this. You've seen all this. You've seen all this. Oh, here you go. So so this is the companion booklet. This is what you will get if you also get a companion booklet. And you see, basically, it's the same thing as this, right? It had a blank page, a blank page, and a blank page, and so all you had to
Wow,
do was just put the page on top of, on in here, and then click save, and then it'll just create this book for you.
that's
It's
impressive.
it is so impressive. It's so clean. I freaking love it. So yeah, the here's the companion book. This is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like. And I've also created an illustration book,
Ooh.
and it's
Oh,
a
nice.
landscape. And when you open it up,
Yeah, I
you'll
love it.
see the four things right here. And I've also went ahead and created this right here. People can click on it, and then they could uh, um, yeah, interactively flip through the pages. And I have a watermark so that no one can jack my shit. So yeah, this is the illustration book.
Yeah, this is great. This is gorgeous. Love it.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I was just like,
Yeah.
wait a second. Wait.
One well, I mean, I know you've already got this thing like done and laid out, so maybe this suggestion is already kaput.
Yeah.
But um, with a lot of sort of like art of books or like, you know, these kind of art books, there's usually at least the very beginning, there's sort of like an introduction from the author, but like, hey, here's a couple of paragraphs about here's what this is, here's the process that I went through to create it. Let me tell you a little bit about it.
Uh,
Anyway, enjoy the show.
yeah.
Um,
So you're saying you want me to do some writing? Damn it. Ugh.
You don't have to. It's totally fine the way it is. But this is an opportunity, I think, for this particular product that you can't do with the other things, and that will actually increase the value of it. Because for people who are interested in the art and this is your opportunity to actually go into some detail about the process and your idea about, hey, this, AI generated art, you know, was an interesting thing to me. I looked at a couple of different types of AI. I looked
Mm-hmm.
at,
Mm-hmm.
Stable Diffusion and so on and so forth. I decided on Midjourney, and here were the reasons for that. And so began the process, and it took X number of months. And
Yeah.
here are the things that I learned along the way. Blah 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 blah. I'm really proud of the work that I've done. Enjoy.
Yeah. I could probably
Don't
do
have to
that.
do that.
Uh, I could probably write
I
that
mean,
right here and put the table of contents here.
oh
Uh,
yeah, there you go.
oh
I'd
God, you're making me work,
be
man. You're
happy
making me work.
be happy to help
That
you with that.
that's
Pro
a great
bono.
idea. Is just I'm so lazy. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do have some blank pages here as well. Um,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, sure. Just a suggestion.
yeah, I know,
You
I
don't
know,
have to
I
do
know.
it.
It's a great suggestion. It's just I'm a lazy asshole. It's like, oh, come on. Okay, all right. That's a really good
Tell you what,
suggestion.
I'll write you a rough draft with some blank spaces, and you can fill in the blanks, and you can change things that you don't like. Like, oh man, Michael got that totally wrong. But I'll give you like a rough
Uh,
sort of like template. It'll be fun
no,
for me.
no.
Don't worry.
No, I don't want you to get distracted. I want you to work on your thing. This I'll write it and I'll send it to you. And if it's shit, you could edit it. How about that? All right, all right. Cause
Sure.
because I don't want you to get distracted from what you're doing, because what you're doing is
Okay.
also very, very important to me. My thing is not as important as your thing, objectively speaking. All right.
But this is great. I love it.
All right. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, why didn't I think about this sooner? It's like
Yeah.
weird, right? I'm just like, why? And so anyways, so yeah,
Yeah,
here.
I would. You should do this for all your Kickstarters going forward that involve art
Hmm,
in some
hmm, hmm.
capacity, which
Yeah,
basically is going to be all of them, right?
yeah. Yeah, so this and then this. So yes, this whole thing of, having a template and actually putting your artwork on
Hmm.
it is
Man, that's the
so
same
awesome.
thing. That's in that
Yeah.
PSD file.
Yep, yep. One thing
Is
I
that
should
like, have they
do.
added some kind of extension to that PSD file? Is that just built in? Like Photoshop can just do that if you set up the file correctly.
Um, let me hold on. Let me just open one of them. Mockup, book. No, 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 no. Let's take a look at art book. Let's look at mockup, and then let's look at uh, is it this one? Crap. All right, hold on. Let me just open up all of them. These aren't that big of a file.
Open all of them.
Um, yeah, it works the same way. I mean, it's just like a template. Whoever was in charge of this, they basically took it and then just skewed everything and put the highlights and
Mm.
everything, and it just works. And it's freaking amazing. Okay, so this one right here, right? Um, so they added the
Wow.
contrast, like, the shine of the book. They added
Hmm.
that on there. Um, so I mean,
This
same
is
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? Same thing, right? This is the left page. So if I save this right here, it's gonna update, and boop, it's gonna be like free landscaper sure mockup and blah 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 blah, right? And then so what you do is, again, you just take their file, and then just put your image in there, and then save it, and then in a few seconds, boop, it'll just you know, integrate itself
Yeah.
into this thing. So I think it's freaking amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty rad, man.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
clean.
Very, very clean. I'm very, very grateful to those people who, made this. It was free too. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh,
Wow.
pay $100 or anything. It was definitely
Sure.
free, and I'm using it.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I agree with you. I bet those are gonna end up like, not that you're not a great photographer, you are, but it'd be really
mm,
hard to get photographs that clean.
Absolutely. Let me see what else is new. What else is new? Ah, here you go. This is the rewards. Remember how last week you said the
Oh yeah, yeah,
booklet,
yeah.
the thing looks all different. So I went ahead and updated it. So this is what it looks like now. Companion
Cool.
booklet, with booklet,
Yeah, there you
illustration
go.
book. The Harmony deck. You have the deck with the various cards behind it. And then you have the companion deal, save 10% if you buy both the tarot deck as well as the companion booklet, like that. And then here's the other deal. It's called the ultimate deal. Did I spell that right? ULTMIATE. Yeah, ultimate
Looks correct
deal.
to me.
Uh, save 15% if you buy everything. So there's the tarot deck, illustration book, and the companion book. So there's this. And then we have art prints. Uh, so look right here. I've actually bought some 110-pound cardstock paper. So the reason why I'm doing this individually and printing it myself is because
Hmm.
here's the thing, Michael. Like, if I were to print one of these prints, how do I ask you? Like, Michael, you are interested in getting the full print, right?
Hmm.
So if I were to print at some online printing shop, I would have to order 100, minimum of 100, in order for them to ship it here. And what if, only one person picked the fool? And what if someone else picked the devil? It's just like, holy shit, I have to, like, because I have to buy one, I have to buy 100, and then
Like
so imagine
708 or no,
eight.
7,800
Exactly.
to have the whole set.
Exactly. So I opted to just buy my own really high quality paper, and then just make the prints at home, to do it that way.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
Yep, yep, yep. And shipping, I didn't do anything with shipping yet, so I didn't do anything with this, and that's it. It doesn't look like a lot of work, but boy, like making
I think it, well,
this graphic,
yeah, it's a
I mean,
huge change from last time. Like that looks
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, I think it makes a huge difference having the sort of like the visual display of the product next to the little like as part of the bundle. That way you can see like, oh, that's the stuff that I'm buying.
Yep, 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 yep. All right, the next thing that I want to show you, update you, is the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this right here,
Ooh.
and then I
Okay,
will
and I
show
need to
you.
switch to the stream, right?
Yeah, yeah, please,
Okay,
please, please, please. Yeah. Make sure you go
can
to the
do.
stream.
And then I'm gonna mute you on Discord so I don't
All right.
hear too. How do I do that? Mute and unmute here.
All right.
I'm still gonna hear myself.
Are you ready?
I think so. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Cool. Oh shit. Hold on. Sorry. I need to put the audio on my speaker thingy so you guys can actually hear it. All right.
There it goes.
Yep. That's it.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna switch back to Discord. Give me a second here. Unmute. Okay, now we should be back to closer to real time. That was really cool. There were two things that I would, well, three things that I would say.
Mhm.
One about like some of the cool stuff, like it was. I'll get to that in a second. But for some of the section that's still unfinished, yeah, this portion here, some
Yeah.
of those zip by real fast. Are you actually gonna show something super duper quick, or
It's yes and no. It's going to be something like how I did like it was shut off like this.
oh, I
Yeah.
see. Gotcha. Like you're
Yeah.
like a triple shot, like
Yeah.
in quick
I'm gonna have to be
staccato.
clever to make it look good. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I haven't taken photos of the cards yet, so I don't know what it is. So all that blank space, it's still up in the air because honestly, I don't know. I have to take the photos and actually have to see how it is. The reason why I timed it is so that I don't waste any time like, all right, when is this beat goes to that beat, I just went ahead and put a marker down on it so that when
Yep.
I do have content, just boom, place it
Then
in
you can
there and
figure it
then
out.
exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The second thing that I was going to say, and it's probably fine, especially because it's a video. If people are really care, they can just go back and pause it. But the pacing and the speed of everything felt perfectly fine to me, except when it got to the end and it was showing the different product lines or
Hmm.
the different product tiers.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
felt like it went by a little fast for me because I was like trying to look, yeah, like here I was like trying to see what that was, and then it had already zipped to the next thing, and it felt a little bit fast to me.
Uh-huh.
But again, that information is on the Kickstarter. If
Ooh.
they really want, they could just pause it and look at it. So it's probably fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably just being an old man about it. But just giving you my off the cuff, raw, knee jerk reaction. That was one of the things that popped in my head.
Sure, sure.
Um, but otherwise, everything else is great. I love the different patterns that you've used for the animations of the different cards. It doesn't get stale. It doesn't feel like, oh man, I'm just staring at a whole bunch of cards, animating in. Like you have enough variety in the animation that it itself is interesting, and it's fun to just see like all these like really badass cards coming in. The music is great. It feels like this whole thing feels really on brand for this tarot deck
Uh-huh.
because it does have this sort of like epic feel to it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think this is great. Oh, and one other thing I was going to say too is um, I hope that once the Kickstarter is done, this ends up on your own like personal store page where people can see this in
Mm-hmm.
perpetuity. Uh, to like oh what the Harmony deck, the Harmony Tarot deck, and then you can have this video there for people to see because
Yeah.
you know you're obviously spending a lot of time working on this, and it's really high quality marketing. So I hope it gets to live on beyond the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you so much. Those are very, very kind words, Michael. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, because I just to let you guys know, I am not a videographer. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but the people who edit videos, I have nothing but respect for you guys. You YouTubers and Twitch streamers, you guys are amazing at these transitions and pop-ups and make things more interactive and very energetic and everything. Like me trying to do this took me like 2 days. For you guys probably take like 30 minutes because you guys know how to do all the DaVinci Code special effects. And for me, I noticed like I didn't have any crazy transitions or anything that's like whoosh whoosh, something that's beautiful. For me it's just fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out. Yeah, I know it's really, really boring. But what makes it cool is that I am timing it with music, and I think that really, really helps.
Yeah, the music
Yeah,
helps a lot.
yeah, yeah. And also credit to the people who made the music. Alexander Nakarada. Make sure to check out his work at Serpent Sound Studios. He allows people like myself to use his work if we credit him in the video as well as on the website. If you post this on YouTube, he kindly requests that you put his information there too. So I have nothing but respect for that guy and allowing us, like myself, to use some freaking epic music. Or else I probably would have just found some those generic,
Just gonna record yourself humming
yeah.
a tune.
Yep. So yes. So yeah, Michael, that's what I've been working on for the past God, what is it? Since Wednesday? Yeah, 4 days. Yeah, I did all that in 4 days. I don't know if that's a lot or
Bravo,
very, very
sir.
little. But
Seems
I'm
like a
very
lot to me.
yeah, yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. So the next thing that I'm working on is that I will work on is taking photos of the tarot card, the tarot deck, the tarot cover, and just trying to figure out how to put all those photos in this video and make it look cool. I'll make sure to have you take a look at it before I push it on make it live on Kickstarter. So yeah.
Sure.
So yeah,
Happy to.
that's thanks, man. So that is all the stuff that I have today to share with you,
Bravo.
Michael. Yeah. Do
Looks
you have
great.
anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to share?
Uh, do I have anything I want to share? I don't think so. I mean, a lot of this. I mean, I have been just absolutely obsessed with this thing that I'm working on.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be awesome.
I hope so. Um, but yeah, nothing that I'm ready to talk about publicly about it. So, uh, do, 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 do. And yeah, I've been so like wrapped up in it that I haven't really been doing my usual thing of kind of like looking into the creative process and stuff. Like I had
Hmm.
gotten this book, this Little Bets book,
Ooh, nice.
but I barely read any of it because as soon as
Uh.
I got it, I got swept up with this project. But yeah, this was a book that was recommended in the "So Good They Can't Ignore You" book.
Oh,
This one
nice.
was talked about in there.
Very
It's kind
cool.
of influencing a little bit of how I'm actually approaching this next creative project.
Nice.
Um, and well, since I've already teased it, I'll just give you the quick version of it. The basic idea is that you can learn a lot from making little bets. Or you can learn a lot from a little, or you can learn a little from a lot. And the basic idea behind that is if you make like a huge investment, you take a really big bet and you know, go all in on a thing, either, financially or, some kind of choice, or maybe you're like, I'm going to spend the next 3 years working on this one thing, and then I'm going to release it, and we're going to see what happens. That is much riskier than saying, I'm going to just to take I'm going to make a tiny little investment here, or I'm going to put a small portion of my time here, and I'm going
Mm,
to see what happens, as a result of that.
mm,
If you do the latter, make those little bets and get some feedback, that potentially is really valuable. That can then allow you to make another little bet that's maybe a little bit more in line with, like, that it uses the information that you got previously uh, to improve. And they do the same thing, another little bet, and do the same
mhm,
thing, and the same
mhm.
thing, so on and so forth, until eventually you get to that same period of time. Instead of doing like the 3-year project, you did, you know, 36 1 month projects. That's 36 opportunities for feedback versus just one.
One, right.
Um, right. And there are a whole bunch of companies and creative professionals that and entrepreneurial professionals. I kind of tend to focus on the creative folks, but Pixar kind of does that with the way that they make movies, where they'll do like an early very rough animated version of the film. They'll screen it for their internal crew, their brain trust, people that they trust to give uh, insightful feedback on the story and say, that character is annoying there. This piece of it doesn't work. That, one section is way too long. You're totally missing a beat here. They take that information and they go and remake the movie and do the
Mm.
same thing. Another couple
Mhm.
months later, they'll do another screening, and they keep doing that several times. I think it's something like a half dozen to a dozen times they'll do that for a single movie before before we the public get to actually see the final film,
Mhm.
which is one of the secrets to Pixar's success. Like that's one of the reasons why they've they've been struggling a bit lately, but
Well, not.
historically that's
I'm just gonna say that, yeah, they've been struggling because Bob Chapek has been,
mm,
cutting their dicks off like inch by inch. But Chapek is out now. Iger is back in. Hopefully, Iger will give Pixar
wait,
back.
what?
Oh, you don't know? You haven't heard?
No,
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah, man. They like fucking
Bob
fired.
Chapek.
They fired Bob.
What?
They fired Bob Chapek,
And
and he's
Iger came out of
and
retirement?
and out of retirement, he's taking over. Yeah, you didn't know?
What?
Holy shit! This is like huge.
No.
Yeah, this is huge news.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that's how,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
in my own little world I've been for the past 2 weeks. But anyway, you
yeah,
tell me more, Chris. Like, wow, what
yeah.
happened? Did the
So apparent
shareholders revolt or what?
it rumors. I mean, I've been watching a lot of people who know about these kind of things, and they speculate that there were some creative leads. And when I say creative leads, you could just think about who's ever in charge of Marvel, Star Wars, and XYZ, right? Whatever all the properties. they went to the board and then they had an ultimatum. They essentially said, "Do this or we're out." And so what happened was on oh god, apparently Chapek as well as like a whole bunch of Disney people were at this concert. I can't remember what concert it was. It was some concert, and then out of the blue, like they just made this announcement, and Chapek did not know about his firing until it was announced to the public, and so like he was just essentially ousted, and now like Iger's back, and everyone is so happy that Chapek is out. And so I'm sorry to interrupt you, but hopefully Pixar is going to do much, much better now that Chapek is, out because Chapek has been saying, like, oh, animation is like, third rate and it's not that good. It's for kids. That's what he said. Animation
Mm.
is for kids, right? So, yeah, like Pixar, like they were not happy because apparently the movie Turning Red was supposed to go into the theatric release, but instead he
Mhm.
put it on Disney Plus, and it just pissed off everybody at Pixar. And so yeah, a
Mm.
lot of people were not happy at all with Bob Chapek's leadership, and so yeah, they fucking gave him the boot. Everyone that I know has been super happy that Iger is back. So yeah, there's a little quick news flash for you, man. Wow.
Wow,
Yeah, this happened
that's
like a
shocking.
few days ago. It was crazy. I did not believe it, but yeah, if you guys know, like Chapek is he was at the Disney company for a very long time, and I didn't know him that much, but I knew he was the guy that Disney brought in if they needed to trim fat off of, whatever department. And so my cousin at the time, Jose, he was working at Disney Consumer Product. At the moment he heard Chapek was, joining the DCP, the Disney Consumer Products uh branch, right? He got the fuck out of there. He's like, Chris, I'm leaving Disney. I'm like, why? We're both at Disney. This is awesome, But he was like, there's this guy named Bob Chapek. He's gonna fuck everything up. And so, so he left, right? And then years went by. I'm not in the I'm not in the DCP department at all. The department that makes toys. I'm in the theme park department. I'm in the WDI department, right? And then I left. I never really had any interaction with Chapek or anything. And then uh I believe it was 2020, he took over and Bob left. Bob retired, or Bob Iger retired, and then Chapek came in, and then he did this thing. I gotta say though, I mean he took it over during the pandemic. It was really really rough for him, but I don't think that was the thing that got him booted. He handles a lot of things horribly, like the whole thing with Scarlett Johansson, the Black Widow movie. It was also supposed to be, theatrically released,
Actually,
yeah, only, but he also put it on Disney Plus simultaneously with this theatrically release, and that was against Scarlett Johansson's contract. And so Scarlett sued, and then they had to essentially settle it out of court. And uh, we don't know how much money, but I'm sure she got a shit ton, a buttload of money from Disney because of that. And yeah, because of that, Iger was really, really not happy. The board was not happy, and yeah, it was all going downhill. So yeah, Chapek is out now. So everyone is like, it was
man,
essentially it was a ding dong, the witch is dead kind of moment. Yeah.
when did all this happen? This week?
This happened 4 or 5 days
Oh,
ago.
jeez.
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah,
out of the loop.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll have to do some more. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of a break to look into that because wow, that's crazy. Like, I'm shocked. I thought he was dug in like a tick. Because I mean, didn't they just like
They
his contract
renewed.
was up
Yep,
for renewal, right?
yep.
And they renewed him
They
for several years,
exactly. Yep.
like just a few
Mhm,
months ago.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Man,
Um, another
I didn't think
rumored.
they'd ever be able to get Bob Iger back. Like, wow, that's amazing.
They probably like paid him like a buttload of money to get him back out of retirement. And so the thing with Iger is that they are hiring him back for 2 years, and within those 2 years, they want him to recalibrate everything, get everything back on course, as well as find a new successor to take over the thing. Because I got to tell you,
Wow, that's
I, I got to say it's part of Iger's fault that he allowed Chapek to take over. I'm gonna say that's part of his legacy. The only thing that he fucked up on is Chapek. He should not have put Chapek in
mm,
charge. Yeah, that's he. At least he has a chance to fix it. Now he's got a second chance. Yeah. So also there is another rumor. And I know you definitely know who Kathleen Kennedy is, right, Michael?
mm,
So the rumor is that after Indy 5 comes out, she is going to be let go, or she's going to leave, aka let go, aka get fired, or whatever terminology you want to use. Um,
right off into the sunset.
exactly. So after Indy 5 comes out, she will not be at Lucasfilm anymore. That's the other rumor. Yeah, because a lot of people have speculated that she has not been doing a great job with the Star Wars franchise. There's a lot of indecisiveness, lack of direction, as well as a lack of, how do you say it? She's not really a fan of Star Wars, right?
Mm,
Yeah, you can tell because there was a comment that she made that made everyone go, huh? You know, there was a comment where she said like, what is it? Star Wars is different from, and obviously I'm very, very paraphrasing this, so don't quote me. Something along the lines of Marvel is different from Star Wars is because Marvel has a lot of materials to work from. Uh, and when she said that, everyone who knows Star Wars, they're like, excuse me? There's books, there's comics, there's
hundreds.
hundreds and hundreds of source materials that you could have used. So the fact that you said there's nothing, you got to start from scratch, you have no idea what you're talking about. So, and obviously this is all coming from people that I've watched throughout the
Mm,
YouTube verse, and and obviously I don't know her. She's probably a lovely person, but just the things that us from outside looking in, we see all the misdirection and lack of controlling, or not controlling, allowing, or I'm sorry, picking the right directors for the movies. You pick one and then you fire one. Creative differences, and then pick one and then
mhm.
you leave one. And it's just like, what is happening, And then the sequel trilogy, right? It's like, oh, episode 7 is interesting. Oh, episode 8, what the hell? And episode 9 is like, what the fuck just happened? And then they admitted like there was no clear direction. It's like, how do you frack this up? It's like, how? How do you? I mean, you can hate on 1, 2, 3 episodes 1, 2, 3 all you want, but at least it has a story of the Anakin and then turning to the dark side, or whatever. You at least you have something that's cohesive. It has a linear progression. It's all it makes sense. But when you watch 7 through 9, it's like, uh, what's going on? It's like, what the hell?
Each movie like throws everything out from the last one. It says like,
Yeah,
all that was nonsense. Forget about that. Here's the new thing, and then the next one does the same thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
forget about that nonsense. Like, here's the what?
yeah, yeah. Episode 9, Palpatine's back. What the what? What? Like, I would assume if you told me that like Palpatine would be back is like a fan film, or it's
Mm,
like a fan came up with that theory. Like it's like, oh yeah, hey Michael, wouldn't it be cool if Palpatine's back? And in my mind, someone at Lucasfilm would be like, what a fucking idiot. It's like, why would he? Palpatine's dead, man. It's like, no, we're not doing that. That's stupid, right? That's what I would assume if I pitched that to Lucasfilm. But Lucasfilm actually used it. I'm just like, holy cow! Why would they bring Palpatine? I After I saw that, I like lost hope in that franchise. I was not happy. I mean, I still love the animated stuff like the Bad Batch and Clone Wars. Um, in my opinion, the Bad Batch and Clone Wars, they those those shows were created by people who are very, very enthusiastic about the Star Wars brand, right? They
mhm.
Dave Filoni, what's that guy? Tony Stark's friend,
John Favreau.
Jon Favreau, thank you. He's he's a gung ho Star Wars fan as well. They are like the meat and bones. They're the creative forces that drive these kinds of movies and shows and everything. Mandalorian is really good. So yeah, I'm kind of I hope that they find someone who is better to lead, and hopefully someone who's also a fan. Because again, I mean before I loved Star Wars, but after these few weeks, I mean not few weeks, few years of Star Wars movies and shows that came out, it's really lackluster. I'm just like, all right, even the new show Andor, I'm not even excited about it anymore because I'm just, not really interested in catching up on the new Star Wars thing. When Mandalorian comes out, then I'll be like, ooh, let's watch it. But until then, I'm not really interested. Sorry, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, speaking of Andor, I have the exact same response to you. It's like at this point in time, the brand has been so thoroughly spoiled for me. Like it's
Yeah,
just it's so damaged that I
yeah,
just like I don't whatever you have to put out there, I am just not interested.
yeah.
Um, however, there were so many people saying, "Oh my God, Andor is the best Star Wars show and it's the least watched. Nobody is
Mm,
watching this and it's the best
mm,
show." And I
mm.
kept hearing that over and over and over again. I was like, okay, let me give this show a shot. Let's
Yeah,
see. Let's see this train wreck. I'm sure it's nowhere near as good. I Andor is amazing. It
nice.
is the best thing, the best Star Wars that Disney has done, period. It's
Wow,
better than any of the other movies. It's better than any of the other shows. It's
wow.
phenomenal. And it's clearly done by people who are extremely passionate about the
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Star Wars world and the universe and how would things actually work.
Right.
It's just absolutely incredible. And like every 3 episodes feels like it's its own little movie.
Yeah.
Um, so public service announcement. I know that the Star Wars brand has ruffled a lot of feathers, and it's hard to trust it. But holy smokes, Andor's incredible.
Nice, nice,
So
nice,
yeah,
nice. Very
but
cool.
yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you, Chris, about Star Wars. I feel the same way. Like that was something really early on, kind of made me raise an eyebrow. Was like as far back as The Force Awakens, when they were working on that and they hired Michael Arndt to write the screenplay. Michael Arndt is a brilliant screenwriter. He wrote Little Miss Sunshine. He wrote Toy Story 3. I think he might have also written Toy Story 4 or might have had a hand in it. Um, he's really talented. And so they hired him, and I was like, wow, amazing, great job. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's a winning choice for a writer, especially because he is a Star Wars fan. He loves Star Wars.
Nice.
And then at some point they let him go. And I think Kathleen Kennedy's reasoning was that he just wasn't fast enough. He wasn't getting to a finalized script quickly enough. And I was like, okay, I kind of get that, but come on, this is Star Wars. Like maybe it needs some more time in the oven, and you've clearly chosen like a really good writer. Maybe you need some additional writing assistance for him, but like give him a shot. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't rush this thing. But they just rushed it anyway. And then from then on, it was like every single movie was like, oh yeah, they got rid of those directors. Oh, they fired that director. Oh, they went in and took over this director's movie. They didn't get rid of him, but they brought in another director to kind of like reshoot some stuff and recut things. And it was just like every single movie was like that. And it became it became a non-issue. Like what would normally be very shocking, um, became very typical, very commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
Just like yeah. And then uh, the other thing too that I'm just gonna get on my soapbox for a second here, and complain for a second. The other thing that's just shocking to me, and you kind of hit on this, Chris, is like you need people in leadership positions who are fans of the IP.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like that. You'd think that would be really obvious because the whole point of spending $4 billion to buy an IP is because you already know that it's successful. It already has this built-in fan base. Like you already have people who are disciples. That's what you're paying the $4 billion for, because that's really hard to create. Like, it's very difficult to get a fan base, to build a world, to get people to discover it, to get people excited about it, to get people invested in it so much that it's basically their religion. That's what you're paying for. You don't buy it and then go like, okay, let's throw all that away and let's just try to do something new, something that we're interested in. And we're not fans, so we don't really know a whole lot about what's going on in this thing, but we're in charge here, so let's do something new. Um, why spend the $4 billion? Like, just take that money, spend the $4 billion, and go make your own new thing.
Mhm.
Why buy this pre-existing thing and then run it into the ground, or make these decisions that are clearly antithetical to what that thing is. Like, it's just completely baffling to me. But anyway, yeah, I get a little bit persnickety about IP management because
Yeah.
it seems obvious. And maybe I don't know, I don't know. Maybe when you get into that leadership position, it's like it's not easy, man. Like, there's all kinds of valid reasons for making these decisions, but it, from the outside looking in, it seems like, huh?
Well,
Why would?
well, we've been inside looking out before, right? I mean, we've seen like the whole bureaucracy of, why
Mm,
some things happen, and it still doesn't make sense. Like I'm still like when I was still in WDI, people make decisions. I'm like, what? What? Why would they do that? It still doesn't make
yeah.
sense. So like for example, hey gentlemen, have you still good to see you, man? I see you. Hello. But even if let's just say today I am in charge of Star Wars and I'm not a fan. It's okay if, you trust, you hire people to educate me and let them make the choices, right? For example, just like if you're a fan, Michael, I would trust like, hey, Michael, I don't know shit, but you apparently know more shit than me, so therefore I'm gonna hire you so you can educate me and you could more or less co-lead this whole thing with me as well, so that we can, make something awesome because I clearly don't know anything about Star Wars nor because I'm not really a big of a fan, but you can educate me. So why not do that? Why not just make it easy on yourselves and not just start creating a lot of not so great, movies. And anyways, yeah, apparently the Star Wars movie franchise was put on hold. It was directed by Chapek to stop making movies. Um, and
Oh.
then yeah, it was Chapek's call to tell Lucasfilm to stop making movies. That's what I've learned. Yep. And
Because each new movie was damaging the brand. So, like, stop the bleeding.
yeah. What was saving the brand, in my opinion, were the Disney Plus shows on,
Yeah,
the Mandalorian, well, not so much Boba Fett. I
Book of
mean,
Boba Fett. Yeah,
it,
that
wa- it
was a
was
bit of a
it,
dud.
it was Mandalorian that saved Boba Fett's show. Funny
Yeah,
enough.
really, The Mandalorian like single-handedly
Yeah.
kept Star Wars on life support.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I would also say, PSA, make sure to watch the Bad Batch because I
Hmm.
thoroughly enjoyed the Bad Batch. It's not like the Jedi's or anything, but it's like a band of brothers. They go off on missions and you see them grow. Their character development, they grow, and it's really cool watching them go through a whole bunch of stuff. And it's really it was awesome. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was much better than any of the sequel movies. I know it's a what's it called? A sacrilegious thing to say, but to me, oh, I would pay money to watch the Bad Batch instead of the movies because the movies, I did not like it at all. I mean, I'm all for, Ray as the, female empowerment, having the lead role. I want to see more of that. I want to see more females. If it were up to me, all my movies would have females only. Sorry. It's like I want to see, females, as heroes, but the way they did it, I just did not like it. And
Yeah,
and she
she deserved a lot better.
she really did. She really did. I think she should have had a little bit more of character development because she kind of suffered from the Mulan effect.
Mm,
The new Mulan movie, because in the new Mulan movie, there was a complaint that that she was just all powerful ever since she was a kid, and she didn't have to like really suffer in order to gain her powers, much like Ray. She just had the force all along, and then she just got stronger and stronger and stronger, and it's just I want to see a little bit more development and growth to make me feel more attached to her. If
Yeah.
you look at not Star, Luke Skywalker. I mean, he had to get put through the ringer in order to become like a master Jedi, right? So the character development wasn't really done all that well. And again, introducing Palpatine back in Episode 9, that's total bullshit. Whoever came up with that, so stupid. I do not like it. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were like the team responsible for episode 9. What I mean, they had an impossible task. Like, how could you possibly save the series, save the franchise at that point? Like, there was nothing that you could do. I mean, uh, even just the sequel trilogy, the things that happen in Last Jedi are just, they're so universe breaking.
Mm.
I don't know what you possibly could have done. I mean, there's even like a really lazy throwaway line. And I haven't even seen Rise of Skywalker, and I
Oh, you
probably won't.
haven't?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Oh man, you should just watch it just to see how bad it is, really. Oh my
Oh, I've
God.
watched a lot of content about how bad it is.
Oh wow.
Um, but there's this lazy throwaway line in there where somebody's like, "Hey, we need a holdo maneuver here," and somebody says like, "Oh, it's just 1 in a million. Like, we can't do that." And it's like that's them just poo-pooing away and kind of like acknowledging, "Oh yeah, that thing that happened in The Last Jedi, that completely breaks all of Star Wars. Like we'll never be able to make another movie the same because you're constantly going to be asking, well, why don't they just take a little ship with a light with a hyperdrive on it and hyperdrive jump that little ship into a star destroyer? Like if you've got
Yeah.
50 little X-wings and they've got 50 gigantic, huge investment star destroyers, you just
Yeah.
take them all out. As long as you've
Yeah.
got a suicide pilot, or hell, just have a droid
Hmm.
pilot the ship, or
That's true.
hell, don't even use a ship, attach a hyperdrive to an asteroid, and
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
hyperdrive those into ships and into planets and things.
Yeah.
It would be total chaos. There'd be like no reason for there to ever be
Right.
dogfights or to build Death Stars. Like, why would you ever invest the enormous capital expenditure to build a giant moon-sized space station if you can just, buy a cheap hyperdrive from a, junkyard and attach it to some kind of big hulking mass and then just
Hmm.
launch that at your enemy. Even if
Hmm.
you didn't completely obliterate it, clearly in The Last Jedi, the damage and the like knock-on effects of the damage from all the like little particles that get hyper accelerated is just so devastating. Like in that movie, one ship, one little transport ship wipes out an entire armada
Yeah.
of enemy, like top of the line warships. That breaks Star Wars. Like you
Yeah.
can't, like you can't. I would hate to be the writer for episode 9 trying to figure out, well, how do you go forward from here? This nothing's ever going to work ever again. Like that just anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
rambling at this point, but yeah, between that and the way Luke Skywalker is treated in Last Jedi and
Oh God, I hated the way they treated Luke Skywalker. It was so bullshit. I mean, like him
and even
throwing
like
away that thing. It's like that's not Luke Skywalker. He's not like that. And it's like, come on.
and even worse, like not just the way they treated Luke Skywalker, but the way they treated Mark Hamill,
Mm.
because you can see like on the various press junkets or the
Yeah.
panels that he's doing, the interviews and stuff, he is just so devastated every
Hmm.
time he's talking about that movie and about the the way Ryan Johnson wanted to portray Luke Skywalker. He's like, that's not Luke. Like that's not
Yeah.
who that character is, and he just had no control over stopping it, and so it's just the slow motion train wreck that he had to watch. And
Yeah.
man, it sucks. Like
Yeah.
that was real sad.
Yeah. Heavy says, drink the blue milk, bigot.
Yeah.
all right, yeah, yeah.
fresh out of the booby, and then
I
let
know.
it dribble all down your neck.
And then just look at Ray like a old perverted man, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
It's like, ew, ew. Yeah. Anyways, um, yeah. Wow. So sorry. We were talking about your stuff. You mentioned, wow, what did you mention that made me go? Oh,
Talking
Pixar.
about,
Yeah, you
yeah,
you
Pixar,
mentioned
and then we
Pixar.
were
Yeah,
off to the
sorry.
races.
Sorry about that, man.
That's
Yeah,
okay. That was
yeah,
a good chat.
yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Did you want to finish your thought about Pixar and the little book?
Nope, that finished the thought.
Okay,
That was
okay, okay.
perfect.
Very cool, very cool. All right, the last thing that we will do, Michael, if it's okay with you, we're gonna take a look at some amazing artwork. If
Absolutely.
you guys are watching, feel free to put some artwork in the Discord, and I will do that. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna share screen. Because we only have one person, Zlothy, who went ahead and shared some of his amazing work. And so we're going to take a look at some of his
Cool.
miniature painting. Gentleman Heavy, I think you would appreciate this. This
Yeah.
is done by Slothy. And Captain Blue Blue, ahoy! How you doing, man?
Ahoy.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
So this is all hand painted. Holy cow, this is, you guys, both you and Heavy, you guys are very, very talented. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah,
opening up
these are
one by
amazing.
one so that I can actually, wow, yeah.
Yeah, these are
Uh,
cool.
they're so tiny. You guys have so much patience, man.
Wow.
And one last one.
Yeah, I love these like creature warrior things.
Yeah, this is
The
awesome.
other ones look like rats or like like a rodent species.
It's like an orc, right? It looks like a Cyclops.
Yeah, it's some kind of
Cyclops
Cyclops thing.
Spear Maiden.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Man, you guys are so talented, so patient. Whoa.
And look at those
Crazy.
teeth.
Yeah. Awesome. So good. So good. Oh, wow. This is what is this? This one Zlothy labeled it as ratlings. Ratlings. These are rats.
Ratling.
Yeah,
Got it. Cool.
very cool. Man, these are so cool. Um I want to ask Zlothy if this was 3D printed.
And these are awesome. These are, like have a really cool design too.
Yeah.
And man, this painting, it's so textured and juicy. It's got like really great metallic tones.
Yeah.
Love it.
Heavy says, "Give me a sec. I'll yeet my last month's worth of work." Nice.
Yes, please.
Captain Blue says, "I barely made it." Thank you so much for being here, man. I know it's super late for you over there, so thank you for hanging out with us. I know it's like 4, 5, 6 a.m. over there in Sweden. Man, look, the armor is really cool too. The how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Blue says, "I made progress on the game." Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's that Hiragana game that we saw last week, right?
Yeah, I love it.
That is cool. Some awesome work, Zlathi.
Yeah,
Captain Blue
good job.
says, "Sent in the gallery."
Sweet.
All right, take a look. Wandering
Ooh.
Oni, Wandering Oni, Wandering Oni. E. And then so if I remember correctly, Captain Blue Blue says the interface is kind of like Tinder, where you swipe left and swipe right, right? Um, but yeah, this is
So
cool.
do you swipe to like are you matching that middle card with the icon on the left or the right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I believe so. It's kind of like a matching game, if you will. And then if you do
Gotcha.
match it, it'll hurt the Oni. Oni means demon. For those of you guys who don't know what Oni means, Oni is demon. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, Captain Blue
Yeah.
Blue. Thanks for sharing, dude.
Keep it up, dude.
And the next thing, oh fuck, this is awesome. Gentleman Heavy has also posted. And let me go ahead and close some of
Oh
these so that
wow,
my computer won't die. This is very
that's
badass.
super rad.
Holy cow! Great photo taking too. That's great.
And Blue Blue says, and if you make 5 matches quickly enough, you make a stun attack. The stunned enemy gets put last in the turn order. Nice.
Nice.
I'd kind of like to see the game in action. See how
Yeah.
all that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Blue, if you ever make the game, upload it so that Michael and I can play it.
Wow, gentlemen, you were really busy.
Wow. Jeez, man. All right, let's go from the beginning. What is this? This is freaking awesome, man. This kind of reminds
Yeah, I
me
love
of
it.
the alien creature from Fifth Element. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
You know
Yep.
those people that walks back and forth like this. You know, like doosh, doosh. Yeah.
And what were the name of those things? I
I
forgot.
I,
This
I don't
also,
remember.
if anybody knows in the chat, please let us know. Fifth Element aliens. Forgot what they were called. But this also reminds me a lot of in Half-Life 2. There is a robot called Dog, which is like one of the characters. Her name is Alex, and her dad like built her this robot guardian to protect her, but it
Oh.
acts like a dog, and so she like throws it and it catches or throws things and plays fetch with it and stuff, and it kind of looks a little bit like this. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh.
about, Chris?
That did you
Sounds vaguely
mention?
familiar.
Yeah. Wasn't it like BioShock? Is that what you said?
This was from Half-Life. There might be something.
That
I mean,
reminds
they're
me of.
like the. I think they're called Big Daddies
Oh,
in
okay.
BioShock. Or they're like the hulking sort of
Yeah.
like underwater sea diver type
Mm-hmm.
characters that protect the little sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, particularly the shape of this thing, and then that head looks very reminiscent of Dog to me.
Yeah. But Heavy, this is amazing. He even like did a
Yeah,
painting of a face on here.
yeah,
Holy cow.
yeah. This
Oh,
thing,
this
yeah, and like Chris said too, really good photo work too. Like the lighting
yeah.
is great. You've got a nice, matte background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, really lets the colors pop.
Yeah.
This thing's super cool. Oh, and I just noticed the right hand is like this really cool multi-jointed claw thing. That's pretty badass.
Look at the gears inside. Man, this is really nice. Good job painting this, Heavy.
Yeah.
This looks
How
great,
big
man.
is this one? This one looks pretty big. But then again, I
Um,
think that every time and you see another photo and it's like right next to a quarter.
yeah, I
It's like,
know. I
oh,
know.
it's real tiny.
Yeah, pretty
Gentleman
cool.
says it's an Imperial Knight with a mural on one of the Imperial Saints from my custom sector. Cool.
Ooh, nice.
Imperial Knight. Love it.
Man, you got an artillery tank. Oh, this is so cool.
Captain Blue Blue also says that perhaps I can make a quick video to show on the tavern sometime. There you go.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Heavy says it's about a foot tall. Wow, that is wait,
Oh
a
wow, that's pretty
foot?
big. Okay. That's
Wow,
huge
that's
compared to normal.
huge.
That's like Godzilla sized.
Yeah.
Since normally they're, super tiny.
So Heavy, obviously it's a I mean, it's a question, but I was gonna say a rhetorical question, but which is easier for you to paint, the mini or this gigantic foot tall monster, or not monster,
Mm,
but the soldier? Because obviously if it's bigger, you got to put more detail, and if it's smaller, you got to paint really small. So I don't know. I honestly, let me know which one is
six
easier
of
for
one,
you.
half dozen of the other.
Yeah, exactly. Heavy says, bah, I got like 12 of them. Holy cow, jeez. Dang, man. Yeah, all right. These little artillery guys, freaking awesome.
That is a
Man,
huge gun.
look at the detailing on that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Man, this is really good.
Super rad.
very. I love this little lime accent. Um,
Mm,
Back when I was working at Petroglyph, the as a concept artist,
mm-hmm.
whenever we designed the tank for the bad guys, the accent colors was exactly this lime green. It
Interesting.
yeah, yeah, it gives it like this alien evil type of look to
Mm,
it.
mm-hmm.
That's what we went with, and when I look at this, my mind just went exactly straight towards the bad guy tanks back in the video games that I had that I worked on. But this looks freaking awesome, man.
Do those tires actually like roll? Can you the axles work? And are the tires like made of rubber or are they hard shell? Just curious.
According to what I'm seeing,
Looks like they might actually roll, huh?
yeah, possibly. Heavy says, I love big ones. They are easier to base paint and more forgiving to freehand things. Yeah, okay, nice. That makes sense. Yeah, this is cool. This is very cool.
Yeah,
Ah,
rock on, man.
yeah.
These are great.
Heavy, good job. Captain Blue, good job too. Uh,
Yeah.
just to let you guys know, I don't know if you guys were here earlier watching Heavy and Captain Blue, but Michael and I have decided to take a short break from the Creative Tavern, more or less kind of like the end of season one, if you will, like the show, right? And whenever Michael and I are ready to come back to present another project again, we will show you guys or let you guys know when season two is coming out. It is yeah, because Michael has some stuff cooking in the oven, and I have nothing cooking in the well, I have stuff being thrown on the wall to see what sticks. Currently, I don't really have anything that sticks right now. I'm just working on the tarot cards right now. But yeah, just let both you, Heavy, as well as Captain Blue, because the both of you guys, you two have been the most interactive slash involved with this channel with Michael and myself. So I just want to say thank you to both Heavy as well as Captain Blue for being part of this awesome this channel. Without you guys, wouldn't have been as cool if you guys weren't here. So I just want to say thank you, Heavy, as well as Captain Blue, for being here. Yeah, thank you so much. And we're not going anywhere. I mean, I'm still going to be streaming, albeit I haven't been streaming this past month, right? I've been sick with COVID, as well as I've been working on my work and working on the stupid tarot cards. But I'm not going anywhere. I still have the Lead Design Studio, and I'm definitely going to start streaming again this beginning of December. And Michael's still here. He's not going anywhere. As in whenever he is ready to share his work. He will pop back up, and then we will, start season two again. When is it? We don't know, but we definitely will want to, share with you guys what we've been up to. And if it's not here on the Creative Tavern, it could be on my channel as well. So nothing is concrete. It's very, very free flowing, and just let you know that's what is going to happen. And yeah, anything you want to add, Michael?
Nope, I think that was very well said. Just to kind of like reiterate, I guess, as Chris said, we are basically going to bookend what we're calling season one now. And so season one for the Creative Tavern is coming to an end tonight. Um, and we are going to stop streaming. And we have stopped streaming indefinitely because we have no plans for season two at this time. But like Chris said, the Discord is going to continue to exist. The Twitch channel here will remain. We're not going to delete it or anything. It's just going to go dormant for a while. The YouTube channel will continue to exist, and we'll have all of our archived content there. Chris and I will be poking around in the Discord here and there. Chris is going to continue to do his channel. I may show up there as sort of like a
Yeah,
guest
yeah,
once in a while.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, until we have, and part of it, just to kind of give a little recap for you guys. Part of the reason um, for the decision, at least my thinking is when we came into the Creative Tavern, we had a project that Chris and I were doing, and so we had a very clear form of content to share twice a week with you guys. Hey, here are the updates on the game. Once the game was completed, we took a break and started experimenting with some other types of content. But really, at least for me, I think the kind of bread and butter of the Creative Tavern is having some kind of educational, creative professionalism content for you guys. And also the community sharing stuff is really important too, to be able to like showcase your art and get it out there and get excited about it, which has been really cool and inspiring.
Mm.
But part of the other thing too is just I've realized that, and I'll try to do a quick version of this because I already said this earlier, but I've realized that at least for me, there's kind of like two different focuses for my my attention and my resources. On the one hand, it's creating content, which for me is typically in an entertainment form factor. And then there's also allowing or role modeling for others that process of making the creative content. And I think the Creative Tavern has kind of been focused on that second piece, like watching me and Chris make something else. And that's a totally different group of people that are interested in watching something get made, as opposed to people who are interested in the thing. Once it is made, then they can consume that thing. And the project that I'm working on right now, which I'll just say is a writing project, so I'm planning to write books in the future, both fiction and nonfiction, kind of requires a lot of my attention and focus to make sure that it can be the best thing possible. And I feel that I can benefit both of those groups of people, the people who are waiting on the entertainment content from me, and the people who want to learn from me being a creative role model. I mean, both those people can benefit if I focus on the former, because the better I get at making content for the end user, for the consumer of the art, the more I'll have to teach and to share and to show other people who want to kind of follow in my footsteps. So with that said, that's kind of the big thinking for me about why I'm going to step away indefinitely. But again, like Chris said, I mean, we're not riding off into the sunset. So long, everybody. It's been great. We'll see you later. We're still going to be here if you want to message us. Like, you can get a hold of us through our various social media, in the Discord, and then occasionally, when I'm, poking around with on Chris's channel, and you could also like message Chris too, because Chris and I are going to continue to meet because we're collaborating on this big project that I'm working on. So yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. But it's been a blast. We've had a hell of a time hanging out with you guys, and especially, like Chris said, for you two in particular, Gentleman Heavy and Captain Blue Blue, you've basically been here from the beginning and have been the most consistent and the most enthusiastic of our supporters. So we really appreciate you guys, and hope you stay creative, and we'll hopefully talk again soon.
Yeah. Michael's gonna have some at the end of. I mean, I'm not gonna spill any beans, Michael, but at the end of 2023, yeah, at the end of 2023, expect 3 awesome things to from Michael. So we're gonna see 3 amazing things coming out of Michael's brain, if you will. So yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah. So it's awesome. But yeah, thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue. Thank you so much, Heavy. Hopefully both of you guys are doing well. I haven't been streaming, and I haven't been on Discord. I've been like super sick and busy and all that stuff. But I will be coming back to stream on my own channel on twitch.tv /Lee Design Studio. And hopefully I could see you guys there, because I definitely miss you guys. I haven't forgotten about you guys. So yeah. But yeah, Michael, is there anything you want to say before you step away for some time streaming wise?
Um, yeah, I think I basically said my piece. This has
Nice.
been a blast. I hope it has been inspiring and helpful for you guys and for anybody in the future who's watching this. Um, I hope, yeah, that this in some small way either inspires you or motivates you to not give up on that creative project or that creative idea or that creative passion that burns in you and that you want to you know cultivate.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in short, stay creative.
Yeah, awesome. And Captain Blue was, designing his own video game, and Heavy is, doing freaking amazing paintings. So I'm not worried about these two guys at all. And I will see you guys both on my channel. And like Michael said, he's gonna pop on my channel, and we could have the creative timer on my channel. It's just two guys just bullshitting and talking about Star Wars and whatnot. Like, well, I actually had a lot of fun today talking about the whole Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, Michael was so busy with his project that he didn't know Bob Chapek was fired and Iger came back to Disney. Crazy, crazy stuff.
that's yeah,
Insane.
earth-shaking news. Holy
It
smokes!
it
I thought you were like joking or playing, pulling my leg at first. I was like, all right, Chris.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But
No,
wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
it's insane. It's insane. But yes, Gentle and Heavy and Captain Lulu, thank you so much. We will definitely not be strangers, but until next time, we're gonna say good night and thank you so much for being here. Have a great tonight and have a good start of the week tomorrow. All right, see you guys. We will see you soon. Bye.